Hey everyone, Caront here, and welcome back. I am titling this one a little bit differently, and if I choose to do any videos like this in the future, I will title them differently as well, because this video has nothing to do with the channel. If any of you guys are watching to get updates on future content and such, this won't be in it. So I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while, just personally, and something I want to lay out for you guys, and I want to get your thoughts on. I want to get your support on, and to some degree, a little bit of accountability from you guys too. Because what I want to talk about today is something that I've struggled with pretty much my whole life, and that is my weight, my body image, and other related topics. Just a little bit of background before we get into sort of present day, I guess. I started out life really small and pretty much just grew from there. I was born premature, which to a great degree accounts for why I'm blind as a bat because birth issues. And so I grew up, but I was always a sedentary kid. I liked to play video games a lot, which of course, why I still keep doing it. I never really was that particularly great into playing with other kids or exercise or such, largely because my family lived in a neighborhood that had very few other kids, much less any kids our age. The only kid actually in our, I don't even know if you can call it a neighborhood, growing up was several years older than I, and I was the eldest of the three kids in our family. So there wasn't a lot in terms of really other kids to play with or to be engaged in sports with and things like that. So I never really was. I just played a lot of video games and that's how I entertained myself. That sedentary lifestyle, unfortunately, of course, came with detriments to it because I wasn't getting a lot of physical activity. I grew up, well, fat. Was fat all the way from, well, pretty much as far back as I can remember. I mean, probably third or fourth grade or so, maybe even earlier than that. And I went up through middle school, high school, college, same way. I never really got teased about it much, so it's not as though folks were really cruel to me or anything like that, which, given some of the atmospheres I've seen from other kids and in other schools, I was fortunate in that aspect at least. But I never really did anything about my weight. I, for the most part, didn't really care, to be honest. I just didn't see it as something worth looking into. I didn't really see it as a major issue. And so I just didn't really do anything about it until several years ago. I had a retinal detachment surgery, my second surgery actually, to correct it. And in doing so, I had to get a battery of tests getting ready for the surgery and so on because they were going in and basically doing funny things to the back of my eyes. In that, I found out a lot of the family history of diabetes on both sides of my family, high cholesterol problems, hypertension, aka heart problems. All of that stuff ran in the family and ran pretty deeply. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall a bit. And for the first time in my life, I started paying attention to what I ate and paying attention to fitness. At the beginning of 2008, when I started doing something about this, I weighed 276 pounds and was at about, I think, roughly 34% body fat. In the space of about a year and a half, I started going to the gym, started just getting on the exercise bike and pedaling, and then moving up from there. I started taking classes about midway through 2008, mostly because I was getting bored with it and I needed other folks to work with. I started running shortly thereafter, and in the space of a year and a half, I lost about 100 pounds. My lowest weight actually was down to 176, at which point my family started being afraid that I was getting too skinny. It was during then that I discovered my love for running and specifically for long distance running. I really enjoy it still. I don't know what it is because really of the cardio activities that you can do, running is probably the worst one you can do because it is highest impact on your joints and such. But once I got my weight down enough to where I could handle it, and then I started getting the cardio basically the background to be able to run longer distances. I really came to enjoy it. I love being able to run long distances. I think my body is generally tailored toward that. And ultimately, I found my niche in, of all things, marathons. Something I never would have thought I would do at any point remotely until I started actually doing them. I have done several now, and I am really happy that I have. Is it tough to train for it? Absolutely. Is it a slog when you run it? You better believe it. Oh boy, the stories I could tell. But the feeling, the achievement, the rush, I guess, that you get when you cross the finish line. They hand you the medal and the little space blanket that you can wear around that looks like a big piece of aluminum foil, pretty much. And the fact that you can, look pretty much the world in the eye and say, I did it, is really beyond anything I think I have probably ever felt. And that brings us to now, because I have cataloged 12 marathons, and I don't say that to brag exactly, but that's just what I've done. But in the last couple of years or so, I've lost a lot of the motivation. I don't know whether it is the fact that I'm generally working 60 hours a week, or that I am doing a lot of stuff for the channel, and thus that takes more time than I thought it would. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I had lost a lot of the motivation to keep myself in shape. And as a result, I haven't gone back to where I was, but I've gotten in worse shape. I mean, just, and main reason I'm sitting here wiping my brow a bunch because I just got out of the shower from being at the gym. I weighed myself after I finished, and I am at 227 right now, and at about 29% body fat. And that's not where I want to be. I have been tempted to make this video at the beginning of May and at the beginning of June and beginning of April, and you get the picture. My motivation has been off and on, and part of the reason I am making this video right now and telling you guys about all of this is because I kind of want to enlist you guys to help support me and kind of keep me accountable on this. What I want to do, my goal for the rest of this year, for the rest of 2016, is I want to get myself back into at least passable marathon shape. And that passable marathon shape is obviously below 200 pounds. Probably, I would say my ideal weight is probably around 180, 185-ish. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm not exactly going to be yay big, but I do want to get around that weight because that's the weight I think at which I was most comfortable athletically. And body fat wise, I want to get below 20%. Probably I need to get lower than just that, probably talking more closer to 15, 16% or so to actually be in the shape I kind of want to be in. But that at least will be a start. It's going to be tough. I mean, if any of you have been through this sort of thing, if any of you have had weight issues, health issues, that sort of thing, you know very much what I'm talking about. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of work to do it right, and I want to do it right. I've seen diets, I've seen crazy exercise programs and crap. That's never really appealed to me, honestly, because I've also seen the rebound, and the rebound is really rough, and I don't want any rebound. I want to be, just basically taking, as much as I want all my other numbers to go up, subscribers and followers and all that stuff, I want that number to tick steadily down and healthily down to where I can keep it off, to where I can maintain the lifestyle, and to where I can become a better self, I guess, more of my ideal self, so to speak. So that is my goal, and I want you guys to help me with that. I want you guys to support me. Obviously, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of pandering for it a little bit, but honestly, this is the sort of thing that it is incredibly tough to go through alone. And I don't have a whole lot of real life friends left that are still here. Most of them have moved away, so I don't have much contact with them anymore. So honestly, I probably have more contact with y'all than I do with them for the most part. So I want you guys to help keep me motivated, help keep me accountable to it. One way that I want to maintain that accountability is to basically post a monthly weigh-in. I don't want to post them each week because weekly, I want to keep that kind of private, mostly because I don't want to start getting so stressed out about the idea of, oh, well, I got to post this week and make sure that nobody's sitting there on my back going, what are you doing? That it starts becoming stressful. I'm going to weigh myself each week, though, to make sure to sort of maintain how I'm doing. And then I want to, say at the beginning of each month. I mean, this is pretty much going to be beginning of July, although it's June 30th today. So I say at the beginning of each month, I want to post a video showing my progress, if there is progress, and I hope there is, and just to keep you guys updated with it. Also, uh, if you guys have dealt with anything like this, whether it is, and I know weight and body image issues aren't just from being too big, like me, or probably a majority of other people. I know that body image issues are present in folks who are too skinny or feel they're too skinny and get called beanpole or whatever. I don't know. So for anybody who's had those sorts of issues, and I know also when we talk about body image, we mostly talk about body image in ladies, and I can understand why, because our lovely double standarded culture is primarily focused so much on, oh, well, guys have to be raw and women have to be about yay big and about yay wide, that body image issues are mostly generally talked about in the female community, but guys can have those problems too. I wouldn't say I have as bad of body image issues as some. I certainly know they have not been eating disorder or anything like that, and I feel fortunate that my body chemistry and brain chemistry has not sent me down that road. But guys can have body image issues too. So whether you are a guy or lady, fat or thin, or not happy with yourself in any way in regards to that, let's talk about it. I mean, you can do it in comments, we can do it on Twitter, I don't know, however you're most comfortable. And I know it can be a very personal, very emotional issue. That is kind of why I want this to be titled as it is and set apart from the Caront Live videos, because I want this to be an area where we can be more honest. Not saying that the channel videos aren't. I just, I want these videos to kind of be, whether they be about weight or political, religious issues, whatever, I want it to be an area where we can kind of tear down the walls, remove the masks, rip away the barriers, and just be honest with each other and help each other. I don't know how often I'll do something like this. It's certainly not going to be on any set schedule, because it really is just me looking and saying, you know what, I've got something on my mind, something that's sort of been eating away at me, and I want to share it with you guys. So, I don't know. I mean, this might be a once off. I kind of doubt it, honestly. I mean, certainly with the updates, it won't be a once off, but I don't think it's going to be a once off in terms of, hey, this is the only topic I'm ever going to engage you guys in with something like this. But whatever we do talk about, I want you guys to know that just on my end of things, and I hope you guys will also share this mentality, is whatever opinions you have, whatever stories you want to tell, whatever experiences you want to share, or even if you're not comfortable enough doing that and you just want to say, hey, good job, I'm not really comfortable saying, sharing my own side of this right now, that's fine. I want it to be open, to be accepting. Those of you who choose to comment on this or choose to sort of come with me on this journey of sorts, I want you guys to be fully comfortable with it. I don't want to have any impositions upon you. I don't want to suggest any way of thinking. I will simply share my thoughts on whatever issue it is, and I want you guys to do so as well. When it comes to something like this, if you're comfortable sharing, if you have those sorts of issues, that's fine. If you're not, that's fine too. If you just want to comment or what have you and say, hey, you're supporting, I'm supporting you, I want to make sure you're doing all right, so on and so forth, that's fine. Okay. Oh, right. I never did talk really about why I wanted to do, why I wanted to get in better shape in the first place. Shame on me. I mean, the main reason, of course, obviously, is, well, for me. I mean, I've made no bones about the fact that I'm an older Let's Player. I'm 34, so I'm not exactly young. I mean, most of my audience is probably about a decade younger than I am, if not more so. So, not sure what that says about me necessarily, but it does say that I'm an old fart and I ought to get out my cane sometime soon. But I know that I am older as far as the Let's Play community goes, and obviously I'm not getting any of those years back. I mean, the one thing that we can't really get back as human beings is time. And I don't want to waste the time that I have left. I don't know how long that is, obviously, because nobody can, but I want to begin pursuing this now again, I guess, because I don't want to look back and have regrets. And if I stay the course that I am right now and adding to the number instead of dropping it, I know I will regret it because I will miss running. I will miss being in shape, even in moderate shape, which I don't think I was in great shape at any point. And so I want to do this for me so that I can be more of my best self, my ideal self. It is to some degree a reflection of my image, my self image, which I've always had issues with. I've always had, I mean, as when I first heard the word self esteem in seventh grade, I knew I had problems with it. And to some degree, my self image is my body image, or my body to some degree reflects my image of myself or steers my image of myself. And so I want that image obviously to be better. And this is probably the best way to do that, or at least the the healthiest, the most ideal way to do that. And while we are being honest, another reason why I want to do this is to be, more attractive, to be more, I guess, um, what's the word? What's a kind word for it? Well, I want to be more appealing, I guess, to, to the ladies. I, speaking of confidence issues, there's another one, but that's part of it too. And being in a college town, it's a little more imposing, I guess, because it seems like just about every girl in this town is 18 to 22 and about this big. So it's kind of tough when I'm not, when I'm clearly not in shape right now. And I, want to find someone, and then I'm sitting here presenting myself like I am right now, which granted, I think I've got a decent personality, but I don't really have the physical stature to kind of back that up. So that's part of it too. But anyway, I've probably rambled on long enough. Those of you guys who have watched through all of this, thank you. I appreciate you indulging me. And hopefully, you guys will join me for this. I want you guys to be a part of this, like I said, to keep me motivated, to keep me accountable. And hopefully, at the end, by the time we get toward the end of the year and I'm starting to look toward running another marathon in December, hopefully I will be in better shape to do that. And I'll be able to make another video saying, hey, here's my medal. But at any rate, thank you guys for watching this and for watching everything else I do. Hope you guys will join me for this journey, and obviously I hope you guys will keep joining me for my game videos and all that jazz. You guys are great. Y'all are the best audience a guy could hope for, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a good Friday, which is when I'm filming, or not Friday, Thursday. Good job, me. I hope you guys have a good Thursday, a good weekend, and I'll see y'all later.